Welcome back. We are going to be talking about picking the right gauge for you. I thought this was a very good suggestion. Now, there are three main gauges, which you see in front of you. 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410. There are also 8, 10, 16, and 28 gauge. They are pretty expensive. If you want this for home defense or personal protection, you'll have a little trouble finding buckshot, if they even make any for that particular round. Like 28 gauge and 16 gauge, I don't believe they make any buckshot. So I wouldn't use those for defense at all, and because they are a little harder to find. Now, picking the gauge for you is all up to you. First and foremost is recoil. This is going to hit a lot harder than the 410. So if you are very recoil sensitive, I would not recommend 12 gauge. 20 gauge has plenty of power and will get the job done. However, the buckshot is also limited, but a lot easier to find than 16, 28, or even 10 gauge. But also 10 gauge is very expensive. Now, I would say if you're a child, or let's say even a young teenager, or even a female who has never shot a gun, I would definitely recommend 410. It's got plenty of power regardless of what anyone says. Out of a 18 or longer inch barrel, it is devastating for what people make it out to be. If a 22 can kill a person, 410 has 3 to 5 chances, depending on what size buckshot you use. This is a 410 slug, by the way, 1/4 ounce. For just the average person wanting a home defense or personal protection shotgun, I would recommend a 12 gauge, because you can get low recoil shells, which it'll still be hitting hard on your shoulder, but it brings it down to about a 20 gauge if you're shooting 20 gauge buckshot. If you're set on getting very quick follow-up shots and you're not sure 12 gauge will allow you to do that even with low recoil, go with a 20 gauge. I personally love the 410 because there's no recoil, still has plenty of power, but the only thing is not the lack of shells, but the price of them. They are getting cheaper. Before Federal made the Judge ammo, there was only Winchester, which were $5-6 for 5. So that's pretty expensive for 410 ammo, which is lesser of 12 gauge. Because of the Judge ammo, it's brought it down to 50-60 cents per round, which for me is more affordable than paying one each, because they come in 20 round boxes. I, however, got 200 rounds of triple aught buck in 2.5 inch for 50 cents a piece. I paid $10 per 20 rounds of 410, and that was buying 200 rounds. So if you look for the deals, they are there. All in all, if you want a good shotgun with not bad recoil but enough power, I would say go 20, only because of the recoil. But you will have trouble finding buckshot. If you're willing to use specific ammo, which is low recoil, they do make low recoil slugs and buckshot, go with 12 gauge. There are hundreds of different ammo, low recoil and just standard, for 12 gauge. Personally, I would use any one of these for home defense. If I had to, I would pick 12 gauge over them all, but if I had a 20 gauge right next to me, I would use it. If I only had a 410 next to me, I would use it. Alright, thanks for watching. I appreciate the suggestion. If you have any more suggestions, let me know, and I'll be gladly to make a video for you. Alright, hope this helped. Thanks for watching.